In 2018 itself, Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan has completed 3 terms, 15 years, but there was no strong anti-incumbency against him because, as I said, I have traveled very extensively just before elections. But this time it was entirely different. Wherever I went, whether in countryside or in the cities, in the towns, even among hardcore BJP supporters who said they are definitely voting for Mr. Modi in 2024 Lok Sabha elections, but we are voting for Congress. We want Badla. We are a bit frustrated with Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and we want to change. The change was definitely in the air. But yes, by that time itself, Mr. Chauhan has come up with his magic wand, so to say, the Ladli Behan Yojana, that is giving, I think, 1,000 rupees or 1,200 rupees per month to women heads of family every month. The only thing everybody was saying was there is definitely a change we want, but we don't know how the women folk will vote. This is what the refrain among the people whom I talked to. Unfortunately, I couldn't speak much to women in Madhya Pradesh. As you know, it's very difficult. Women, unlike in Rajasthan, where women are a little bit bolder, Madhya Pradesh, particularly Bundelkhand, which shares borders with the UP, it's very difficult to speak to women. They are very, bit conservative. A lot of cultural shock there was there for me. That is different issue. I couldn't speak to any women at all there. But among the menfolk, everybody was saying that it has definitely had an impact on women, but how they are going to vote is a big question mark. But yes, there was a lot of frustration among youth. In many places where I visited, BJP was not there, and even in the contest at all, I couldn't see any posters, I couldn't see any campaign material. Congress was very active on the ground, along with the SP and BSP to some extent. Youth were very frustrated, particularly unemployment, berozgari, that's what they used to call it in Hindi, was a major issue. And definitely price rise, inflation was also issue, but not as much as to the unemployment issue. Farmers were angry. Though I didn't, interact much with the farmers because most of them they don't speak Hindi. They speak the local Bundeli language, which I don't really understand. It is pretty difficult. So I didn't interact much, but whatever I interacted, I could see that there was some anger, residual anger against against the BJP state government there. And there was a sympathy for Mr. Kamal Nath because he was there CM. He came with he was elected as a CM, but barely after 18 months there was a rebellion by Mr. Sindhya, and his regime was overthrown. And people said Mr. Kamal Nath is a good man. During his time, he has waived off some of the loans, and he has promised to waive off all the loans. But before he could do so, he was toppled. There was a sympathy for Mr. Kamal Nath. There was no anger against per se against Mr. Chauhan, but there was 15 years of 18 years of Mr. Chauhan, little bit frustration, anger definitely among youth. But the one big X factor, unknown factor, was how the women will vote, particularly after the so-called Ladli Bahan Yojana. Now coming back to this thing, at that time everybody was saying Congress will win comfortably. That means out of 230 seats, the prediction was somewhere around 130 to 140 seats Congress will win. BJP will end up with around 80-90 seats, with around 7 to 10 seats for other parties. But yes, slowly Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah have done. That's the reason, because of the anti-incumbency, Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan was not announced as a chief ministerial candidate. It was a doubt whether he will be given a seat to contest or not. His name was announced only in the fourth list of BJP, not in the first list, not in the second list, but in the fourth list. But then Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan did do very brisk electioneering along with Mr. Modi and Amit Shah, and deliberately Mr. Amit Shah and Mr. Modi were targeting this belt, Jabalpur belt, where they didn't do well at all, particularly the tribal belt, and they put in a lot of strong candidates, particularly Mr. Praful Patel, in Jabalpur rural area, who is one of the union ministers. They brought in Mr. Narendra Singh Tomar, the Union Agricultural Minister in Morena rural, to influence the voters in the Chambal belt where they didn't do well last time. All in all, around 7 BJP sitting MPs, including 4 union ministers, are contesting this election. So BJP made us a lot of strategic things. Some people felt that Congress was a bit overconfident after the initial flurry, when they thought they would easily win, and therefore they should focus more on Rajasthan and Telangana rather than Madhya Pradesh. And probably Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Ms. Priyanka didn't do that much campaigning in Madhya Pradesh as they would have, in hindsight, would have liked. But all in all, having said that, I didn't see this huge wave for BJP getting two-thirds majority with 155, 150 plus seats. No, definitely it is not happening. I'm definitely sticking my neck out and saying that this is not what I've seen on the ground and not what I have heard from people, and reading and watching thousands and thousands of material there. What is happening is BJP will do much better in the Jabalpur belt, particularly in the town areas. Jabalpur, particularly in districts like Jabalpur and Narsinghpur, and but not much in the tribal belt bordering Chhattisgarh, where Congress is still expected to do much better than BJP. But Congress will definitely lose seats, even in in Chindwara itself. Out of 6 seats, Congress may lose one of the seats this time, but not much. Congress will lose 5, 6, 7 seats in the Jabalpur belt. But Congress is expected to do much better in this Bagelkhand belt, which I told you is dominated by Brahmins. There are many reasons for that. One is one important BJP rebel, who was BJP MLA, previously was BSP MLA, before that was SP MLA, but he is a very strong local leader who is a Brahmin leader. And now this time, after denied being, he had a fight with Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan and he was expelled from the party. Now he has started his own political party and is demanding separate Bagelkhand state. He says that there is lack of development in this area, particularly the Satna, Katni, Sagar belt, and he wants a separate state, and he has floated his own political party. The city, the place where he is contested, probably he'll win. And his candidates are, most of these candidates are Brahmin candidates who will eat into BJP votes, and Congress has strengthened its position also. Most of the Congress candidates are Brahmin candidates here, and whatever the losses Congress will make in the Jabalpur region, they are expected to pick this in the Bagelkhand region. I have no doubt about that. This time the political map will be very different in this part of, in both in Jabalpur tribal dominated belt and the Brahmin dominated Bagelkhand belt. Whereas the things will almost remain same in Bundelkhand, which will remain 50-50. That's what my most of the town seats, city seats, BJP will win. Congress will do well in this thing. One area, as I said, last election BSP won 2 seats here. This time I don't see any seat for BSP. But Samajwadi Party has done well. Mr. Akhilesh Yadav has done a lot of electioneering campaigning here, and there's a lot of groundwork support. They have a committed vote bank, unlike Mayawati's vote bank, because of Mayawati's pro-BJP policies in the last 10 years, and due to her failing health, BSP will not do well. But yes, they do have their strong their Dalit vote bank, particularly the Satnamis in Bundelkhand and Bagelkhand are expected to still vote for them, but I don't see them winning any seat. But yes, Samajwadi Party may win 1 or 2 seats in Bundelkhand belt. There I believe that Congress made a big mistake. They were asking, Samajwadi was asking only for 4 seats in the alliance with Congress. 9 seats, whereas Congress was ready to give only 4. They could have talked and they could have arranged for 6 or 7 seats, would have satisfied both the parties. But Kamal Nath didn't want to give any seat. And in hindsight, probably Congress made a mistake. Now, after the exit poll, maybe the central leadership is thinking that way. And Mr. Akhilesh Yadav took it very personally. Kamal Nath also said some statements like Akhilesh, Vikilesh, and all that. And Congress leader in UP's made a personal attack on Akhilesh. So Akhilesh ran a very spirited campaign in Bundelkhand. So that's why I expect them maybe to win 1 or 2 seats in Bundelkhand. Otherwise, it will be a straight fight between Congress and BJP. And I expect the same thing 50-50 in this belt. Now coming to the most important Gwalior belt, where Congress swept most of the areas last time, running on Mr. Jyotiraditya Scindia. Mr. Jyotiraditya Scindia this time is with BJP. The first election where he is with BJP, what is going to happen? Nothing major. I still expect Congress to win most of the seats. Yes, BJP will do better than last time, maybe pick up 2 or 3 seats more, but still Congress will win most of the seats in Gwalior Morena region. And Mr. Narendra Singh Tomar, who is contesting in Morena rural seat, the Union Agriculture Minister himself may lose. Because the Congress sitting MLA is very strong. He is also a Rajput like Narendra Singh Tomar. He is also a Tomar. Whereas the BSP candidate there is a Brahmin. So he will get the Brahmin votes plus the Dalit votes. So he is expected to win. Mr. Narendra Singh Tomar, I won't be surprised if he loses. Even may finish third also. BSP may pick up a seat there, but you can't predict exactly. But I expect, and in fact, after Mr. last year there were municipal elections in Madhya Pradesh, and Congress won both Gwalior and Morena municipal corporations. Though Mr. Scindia is supposed to be Mr. Scindia's backyard. So I expect the same thing. Mr. Scindia has a very elitist image in Gwalior belt. Though I have traveled to Gwalior also some time back, I didn't see any goodwill for Mr. Scindia's family itself. Whatever the goodwill for his father, Madhavraj Scindia, has dissipated in the last 10 years for Mr. Jyotiraditya Scindia, and is seen as a backstabber now. So I don't expect any major gains for BJP in the Gwalior Morena belt. Coming to the central belt, the Bhopal Vidisha belt, here BJP did exceedingly well last time. This time it's more even Stevens. I expect Congress to win more seats here. So whatever 2-3 seats losses Congress will have in Gwalior Morena belt, they will pick up probably more than compensate for that losses in the central Gwalior Vidisha Sagar belt. Coming to Malwa, where Congress won most of the seats this time BJP probably will win more seats than last time, but still Congress will win more seats than BJP overall. But coming to the southern belt, the so-called Nimar belt between Narmada and Satpura range, the Hoshangabad, Khargone belt, BJP is expected to do very well. So overall, my expectation was it will be almost same like 2018. There is a very strong anti-incumbency. There is anger among the youth. Even farmers are not satisfied because their loans were not the loan waiver didn't happen. Mr. Kamal Nath started during Congress rule, but BJP didn't continue it, and Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan also didn't do well in the management of Corona well. There were a lot of Vyapam and various other scams, and just before the voting happened, 3 audios came against Mr. Narendra Singh Tomar, his son talking to some, everybody knows about those audios. I don't want to talk about that. Corruption scandals. These are the things, and there were rebels against both Congress and BJP. That will hurt them in many places. But the BJP rebels, again, like in Rajasthan, were much more stronger also in Madhya Pradesh. I do not expect them to win more than 2-3 seats. Unlike Rajasthan, where I said rebels and the smaller parties could win around 15 seats, I don't see rebels and the independents winning more than 5, 7, 8 seats in Madhya Pradesh. But the BJP rebels, particularly in the Baghelkhand belt, can really eat into BJP votes, and that could help Congress in a very tight contest. Because as I said, in the last assembly election, the difference between Congress and BJP was only around 0.3% in favor of BJP. It's a very tight contest. So overall, my expectation, my prediction is somewhere around 115 to 125 seats for Congress, around 100 to 110 for BJP, and around 5 to 10 for other parties including SP, BSP, and independents. Some of them would be rebels of BJP and Congress. I expect a bare majority, simple majority for Congress in Madhya Pradesh, in spite of all the exit polls. The exit polls, in my opinion, were too much focusing upon, yes, coming back to the voting percentage which I started. This time voting percentage was around 76.3 percentage, around 0.5, zero point 0.6 more than last time. The same like Rajasthan, again, which can be easily attributed to increase in literacy level, increase in dissemination of information. As I said, information is no more elitist. It is now available to everybody, common man, farmer, everybody, because YouTube, and everybody watches YouTube videos.